Yesterday, I went to the Peacemakers Summit. It was a collection of some of the top LDS content creators and them sharing their experiences and reasons why they got into creating content. They talked about the importance of utilizing social media and other technologies in order to help clarify the truth of what members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints believe and to share their sure witnesses of Jesus Christ. I really loved how they spoke about waging peace and not war in the comment sections. They talked about ways that everybody can be more Christ-like, more patient and long-suffering and understanding, to be more curious about individuals, and to know when to just walk away and to allow individuals to have their opinions, even if they may not want to listen to your opinion and they just want to, wage war. And I really appreciated that because that's been something I've been thinking a lot about, especially as I preemptively think about how I will react when people are of different opinions than maybe some of the opinions that I would share. And it was a really good moment to reflect on positive ways to interact with other people and to be more curious and to interact with them as human beings, that we can still be bold without being inconsiderate of individuals and their thoughts and their opinions. Something the summit did a really great job at is having me reflect on this journey that I'm on in creating my own content and being my own unique individual and finding the way that I want to share content while it still resonates and connects with other people. 2 years ago, I had this pull, this kind of feeling that I should create content and include God and my sure witnesses in the sharing of different principles and different lessons that I've personally learned that have helped me in my life while sharing those stories with others. And I kind of pushed it aside. I was trying to be a better father and make sure I was present for my kids. I was getting back into a career, dating, a lot of things. I had some other interests and other things that I kind of pursued because I felt like that was the right choice for me at that time. But after I kind of stepped away a little bit from that or took a step back, I kept getting these promptings to share content, to create content and to share my opinions, my thoughts, my stories, and to learn how to communicate better and learn how to find ways to help others. Ironically enough, two things have kind of happened back to back that have really helped me think and ponder and get settled and to feel a little bit rejuvenated in this effort to share content. Recently, I was in Hawaii, spending time with my family, being on the property, helping them out with a few things, and just enjoying the benefits of Hawaii. I had been talking with my brother, and my brother shared with me this individual. His name's Paul Rosolie. And I had told him, like, oh my gosh, I've heard of that individual too. Just recently, I see that he's recently been on the Diary of the CEO, and I was excited to watch that episode of the podcast. And so we started talking about that a little bit, and he was sharing me more about who Paul Rosolie was and Jungle Keepers. And when I got home, one of the very first things I did was watch that episode. And I really, really enjoyed it. It was very inspiring to hear his story of constantly, putting an effort towards something he truly, truly believed in, even when he didn't know how he would make the impact he needed to make. But there were two quotes that have really stuck with me that he shared. He shared, if you're going to succeed at anything, you're going to have to learn to love at failing. And I've heard that from like Alex Hormozy. I've heard that from Chris Williamson. I've heard that from a lot of individuals. Basically, anyone who's succeeded talks about this relationship with failing and being okay with failing and getting comfortable with failing, and that failing is a feature to success. Another way to put it is that a winner is just the loser who tried one more time. And I really love those statements because often we believe that we're not capable of succeeding. We limit ourselves. We frame ourselves and pigeonhole ourselves into our own belief. And we think that if we fail, then we are bad and that we should not proceed. We should not keep trying. But a winner's mentality, the mindset that those that succeed in life have, is a failure is just a lesson to help you get to success, to help you get to a place of winning. And I just really liked that reminder and the importance of remembering that even if you don't find success, that you should keep persevering. That is what separates you from, those that fail or have a victim mentality, is this endless perseverance to endure hardship, to endure pain and misery longer than most. When others typically quit, that is when you should be putting the foot on the gas and pushing forward, because through that, on the other side of that, is where you're going to find success. And in relation to that too, there was this other quote that I really, really enjoyed. It was the first time I've ever heard of it, and it was a great framing. He said, "You must enjoy your time as a beginner before you can enjoy your time as a master. A master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried." And it's that last part that I really, really enjoy, that a master has failed more times than a beginner has even tried. We look at masters in whatever area of life that we may be looking, and we see their success. We see them on the other side, and we don't ask the appropriate questions and be curious of the failures that they learned or they went through in order to get to the success. We just look at the success and we think maybe they're just naturally successful. They're just naturally good at whatever thing that you're looking at. And that's just not the case. Is absolutely not the case. Because a master has failed more times than a beginner has even tried. And that just hits very powerfully. Paul shared this story where he had been making these attempts with Jungle Keepers. He was trying to make an impact to save the Amazon. And a lot of things just went wrong. They lost all their funding. Things weren't happening. They weren't getting the help that they needed in order to save this specific area of the Amazon. And he was telling a friend, I think I'm going to quit. I think I'm just going to go find a job. And his friend got so mad at him, they just hung up the phone because he did not believe that that's what Paul should have done. And right then, when he was considering to quit, within that week, a billionaire came across his content and reached out to him. And they had this conversation. And that billionaire committed to 5 years of funding to help them move forward. And right now, Paul is going around the world, going to all sorts of different media types to share a new book that he's just released, a book that I'm really excited to read. It's a book about his experiences and how they can help everyday individuals become better and to overcome hardship. So I'm really excited to read that. But it's just very fascinating to hear these individuals who have a true passion, a true belief, giving it their all to this thing, whatever that thing is. And it's almost they give everything. And just when they have nothing else to give, the universe or God comes in and carries them the rest of the way, or at least to the next level, to where they can then continue on that journey. I think it's a beautiful story. I'm really glad my brother talked to me about it, and I'm really glad that I watched that podcast. It really gave me that rejuvenation, that excitement, that belief to keep doing hard things and to move forward and do my best, to never give up, that it's okay to feel like you have no more to give, but to try and to have hope and belief that somehow, in some way, something's going to happen. At the Peacekeepers Summit, or Peacemakers Summit, I came across, or I heard this story that they were sharing in the beginning, and it has sat with me, and I've thought about it so much, and I kind of want to share with you, and I don't want to mess it up because it's such a beautiful story. But the story is of a man named Alexander Papanderos. I might be saying that wrong, but Alexander Papanderos, when he was a child, he was in Crete during World War II. And he came across a German motorcycle, and the mirror had broken, and there was these different pieces of the mirror, and he picked up one of these fragments of the mirror and he rounded it out. And as a child, he carried it with him wherever he went, and he treated it like a toy, and he would reflect it into dark crevices, dark holes and closets, and to shine light where light would never find itself without that reflection. He carried this fragmented mirror with him into adulthood. And years later, at a seminar, at the very end, someone asked him, "What is the meaning of life?" And he put his hand in his pocket and he pulled out this tiny little fragmented piece of mirror. And he shared this: "I began to play with it as a toy and became fascinated by the fact that I could reflect light into dark places where the sun could never shine. As I grew older, I understood that it wasn't just child's play, but a metaphor for what I might do with my life. I am not the light or the source of light, but light, truth, understanding, knowledge is there, and it will shine in many dark places only if I reflect it. I am a fragment of a mirror. Nevertheless, with what I have, I can reflect light into dark places of this world, into the black places in the hearts of men, and change the things in some people." And I just absolutely love this. This has struck me. I have thought about this over and over, because this is exactly how I feel when it comes to sharing my life experiences. The experiences are my own, but I am just a fragmented piece of mirror. The light source is not my own source. It is that truth, that knowledge, that experience that I learned that has come either through my experience with Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, or from just learning truth, by experiencing truth, by applying truth and knowledge and understanding into my own life. And the effort I'm trying to make is to now reflect that, almost like paying it forward, and reflect that back into the world, and maybe help shine the light in other people's lives. Thinking about this has just really brought a lot of joy and happiness into my life, having a better understanding of the effort I am trying to make to relate to it, to hear this man's story, and to think about the metaphor that it has. And it truly is that metaphor in my own life. I've always had a desire to teach, to spread knowledge, to break down complexities, and to shine light. And that it's not my light, that the things I want to share are truths and knowledge and understandings that have been passed down through generations of time from the pure source of truth and light and knowledge, and that is our Heavenly Father in Jesus Christ. And that is reflecting that light. And that as it's passed down from, man to woman to woman to man, I have this opportunity to shape out my own fragmented piece of mirror and shine it into this incredible, amazing, vastly changing, advancing world that we live in, and shine the light that has illuminated my life in the hopes that it might illuminate and shine in the minds and the hearts of other people. As I strive to be a better man, a better father, a more attractive individual to my future wife, it's not just about like, I know everything and now I'm going to reflect it. It is a sense of humility to say, I'm still learning, but as I learn, I want to share these stories and I want to learn to articulate and communicate and relate with you in a way where I can illuminate parts of your life. And then you can take your fragmented piece of mirror and reflect it into the lives of other people. And together, we can make this world and this life a better place to become the individuals we desire to become. And for me, that is to become more like my Heavenly Father in Jesus Christ, to look within myself as that light illuminates, to become more aware and to see the dark areas that I need to improve in. And I'm so grateful for all these other individuals that are trying to shine light into dark places of this world in their own unique ways. I'm humble enough to know that it's not my light, that I am passing on the light of others and the light of Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ into the life of people that I may not know. They may be strangers, but they are sons and daughters of our Heavenly Father. And I am striving to learn compassion and understanding and empathy, to listen more, to be more curious. And so all of these reminders I've had over the last couple of days have just been amazing. Amazing that we should do hard things, but we should also take time to reflect, listen, be curious, think about others, and to take what we have and try to serve other people and make their lives better. From Jungle Keepers to Peacemakers Summit, it's been an amazing moment to really reflect on who I am, who I want to become, and the efforts that I need to make to be a better communicator, better creator, and a better man. And I'm here for it, and I'm excited for it. And I hope you join me in this journey. Follow along. Please subscribe. Please support in any way you can through engagement, through comments. I would love to know how each of you are trying to use your fragmented pieces of mirror to shine light into the world, or how you're trying to collect that light and to shine that light into your own life. I know right now I am trying to really embrace the fact that my daughter is about to be done with high school and that she's going to be serving a mission, and that I'm going to be a 44-year-old empty nester, and what that means to me, and how I can show up in this new phase of my family's life, the new phase of my life, and how I can include God and Jesus Christ in the decisions and the choices and the efforts that I make. So I'm really excited. It's a fascinating and very strange place to be. I will not lie. Some days I'm on cloud nine excited. Other days I'm sad because I'm reflecting on the gift and the blessing it's been to be a father. And other days I'm in a state of reflection and seeking understanding of what the best next steps should be. So if any of you have any advice you would love to share with me, if you want to reflect some light into my life, I welcome it. I encourage it. I would love it. So thank you.